You release the world, you keep an eye on the thing, and you have the Unity open all the time. And as soon as you see something wrong, if it's critical enough, you jump right back on Unity. It happens all the time.
What might be like the most technical challenge in terms of world creation?
So I would say the limitation as a 2D artist at the time, I didn't know anything about programming or coding at all. And at the time, ChatGPT didn't exist to help you with programming. So either you have to ask a friend who knows programming, or you just have to learn it to do it yourself. So that was really rough. In Unreal Engine, there's a system called Blueprint, where it allows you visually scripting. But in the earlier day of VRChat, there was nothing like it. Until later on, there was a few user-created tools to allow easier creation. And even then, for my old jobs, Unreal Engine creation wasn't like something that you push out to people or a player will get in. You don't care about optimization at all. At the time, Unreal Engine more applied tool that allow you to visualize a scene and lighting quickly per every iteration, and you just take the scene, you capture it with a screenshot or something, and then you go into your Photoshop and you paint over it. There was never any publishing, there was never any gameplay. You don't really mind about optimization or how the rest of the scene feel. You can make a really pretty scene, but when you think about like how the player story, how do the people come in, where do they go, you have to account for bugs, colliders, other things that might ruin the experience for the player. All of that had to be accounted for any world creation. So it was very completely different from just simply making a picture that looked pretty to a fully realized 3D environment that people come inside, explore, and you have to account for every variable that will happen within that. So I would say that's quite a challenge, transitioning from that to 2D. So right now we're using Unity built-in, and Unity built-in is considered a lightweight or even mobile engine. A lot of modern games, AAA, and even Unity themselves use URP, HDRP, and other. They use Unreal Engine 5. There's a lot of ways and tools that bake in the engine to allow for high fidelity lighting, real-time global illuminations, and all of that. And you can do that without a lot of cost to the player or to the game, because we are mostly using VR. The taxing on your computer and GPU is a lot higher because people have to render it twice. And for me, I wish to make high fidelity world and big adventure world that feel deep and immersive, and that come with a lot of cost in everything you put in, every single thing you put in, a particle, a building, a NPC, is come with a cost, and all that cost need to be considered in the optimization phase. So I would say in total, the optimization for Unity to able to cram in, like, let's say a 2 or 3 hour experience with multiple area, multiple voice acting, multiple NPC into a world under 1 gigabyte, or hopefully even smaller than that, because people have various internet speed, and you don't want them to download almost 1 gigabyte to go into a world. So you have to account all of that, and then how many people in the world. If people come in the world, more than 4 or 5 people, if they have all very poor avatar, how is that gonna? You need to have some room and buffer, for all that possibility.
Yes.
And so when creating the world, I have to account in for a lot of optimizations to keep the world, enjoyable, look great, feel immersive, but also, enjoyable, because it doesn't matter how pretty or how amazing your world is. If it's run like 10 FPS, nobody gonna want to play it. So.
But anyways, after all those kind of riffraffs and issues, you have published the world, and now it's ready. What might be what would you describe the joy, or perhaps the biggest outcome for yourself in terms of publishing the world?
So a lot of the initial feedback is obviously excitement as people jump in and try out the game. So there's a lot of the initial feedback is like, congratulations, you know, you launched your world. I'm so excited for it, and all of that. And I'm extremely thankful. It makes me very happy to see something. And maybe a bit later in the day or later in the week after the release, you get some initial, you know, reporting if either there are bugs or any issue within the world. Which tend to happen, obviously. Like even as much as you try to account for it, it's something gonna slip up. So what I call them is like day one patch, you know, or hard fix. If there's something that minors, like, you know, oh, this thing is clipping or that's floating, sure, I can take some time to, you know, note that and fix it a bit later. But if something is game breaking, you know, somebody is stuck or somebody fall off the world, or if they can't continue, then obviously that needs to be hot fixed, because I don't want people to spend time in the world and then they couldn't progress or, you know, ruin the experience for them or wasting their time. So those things I keep an eye out for and make sure that I address them immediately if I see any. So it's funny that the transition from you think you're finishing a world, you're like, it's finished, I can rest now. No. You release the world, you keep an eye on the thing, and you have the Unity open all the time, and as soon as you see something wrong, if it's critical enough, you jump right back on Unity. It happens all the time. I would find myself hanging out with my friend in the new world, and then I would look at Twitter and, oh, that's a major bug. Alright, I'm sorry, I have to go. I have to jump out, go back to Unity, fix it, push out a fix, and then, you know, maybe I can like have some time down in between that, but like you have to be vigilant. So at least that's my approach to that.
You know, you get tons of feature, not requests, but perhaps feedbacks of, oh, this scene was kind of buggy, or maybe this scene kind of crashed, which the game developer didn't know, and kind of, you know, what might be like timing for you? Is it like a few months after?
Yeah, I would say 1 or 2 months-ish after. Funny enough, there's like a little bit of like, I don't know if other work creators have this, so I would love to know, or even you. But after the world finished, I hate it. Frankly, I hate the world. I was like, I've been staring at this every day for the last 1 or 2 months. I wanted to get out of my face. I don't want to see it again. So, but after the period of 1 or 2 months, after all the bugs are fixed, people are happy with the world, I finally able to see it with a fresh eye, and I come back to my own world and I go around it. I'm like, okay, I did a decent job. There's something I can learn from it. There's something I can fix from it. How do I do better next time? And what's my next idea? And how do I incorporate all this feedback and what I have learned so far from this project to the new one? So the grudge, the feeling of suffocation in my own project no longer there, and I'm able to see it a little bit more of a fresh eye. So I would say 1 or 2 months. Yeah.